The following is a Just Green production brought to you by the Might Be News Network.
Hello, Joe Franz here in my luxurious, comfortable mother's basement.
Speak for yourself. I feel nothing with that. I don't feel luxurious. I don't feel comfortable. My throat's dry because you didn't give me a water. Yeah.
Here's a water for you. Yeah, so I'm visiting my mother today, and so I had the guys over to do a podcast in the basement. And just so you can get a good visual, this place is held up by a series of joists and logs because it's a historical house. So it's pretty crazy in here. You have to duck to get underneath all the ducts. See what I did there? So anyway, with me today here on the Novak and Frantz podcast.
I used to shoot a lot of heroin in places that resembled this basement that we're in for a lot of years.
Well, we have obviously Brandon Novak. We have the head of business affairs of Brandon Novak Incorporated,
Jesus,
CJ Schumar.
If that cool ass title did for me what I feel when I hear that title, I would be the fucking man.
Well, it didn't work for you, so you had to pass it on.
Shit.
And last but certainly not least, we have Taylor, who is our engineer and producer at the same time.
What's up, everybody?
You gotta announce CJ last because he has the coolest fucking title. That once you announce CJ's title, engineer, producer, who gives a shit?
It's a hard act to follow.
I mean, it's awesome, but in reality, after what's your title, CJ?
I think Franz changes it every time.
Yeah, it's different every time, but it's essentially the same thing. He
What-
follows you around to make sure that you keep your schedule book, which you're apparently incapable of doing.
Well, okay, that's in layman's terms, but in like professional words, what is he?
I would call him today the president of business affairs of Brandon Novak Incorporated.
Yeah, that's a tough act to
Wow.
follow.
Followed by the engineer and producer. Wah, wah, wah.
How's that make you feel, Taylor?
Well, I mean, just to add on, I am the head of the Might Be News Network, so that's a big deal. I
That
guess.
is true. That is true. The
So
whole
suck on that, CJ.
Yeah.
He's busy managing my affairs. Don't fucking interrupt him.
Novak has places to go, people to see.
Thank you, CJ.
CJ, what's the hardest part about being president of business affairs of Brandon Novak Incorporated?
I want that tattooed on me.
Nothing real. It's easy now.
Why?
He's conscious.
That you
Oh,
see
right.
it coming.
What's the biggest horror story from when he was, a hopeless drug addict?
Probably Atlantic City when security kept coming into our room because they kept saying someone's tampering with the smoke detector, so they had to check the room. But it was really because Novak was peeing all over the casino, and in the planners and everything would just pull his pants down and start peeing.
Isn't that when they found me unconscious in the lobby, covered in the payment that I received from doing that appearance that night?
No, because you didn't have any money because I kept it all. You just kept coming and making me pay the different rides, those little
That's a
The
different
cards,
one, yeah.
yeah.
Where I scored some really good cocaine from the stripper up the street
Yeah,
on the corner. I remember that,
yeah, you had to go wake up the strippers' kids or something was the excuse.
Yeah, wasn't that a thing? So it's like you needed to go get some drugs, but then you ended up, there was a prostitute there who had access to dope, and then her kid was a fan, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
It's like 7 in the morning, 6:30. The sun's coming up. I ran out of blow. I find myself in this not abandoned house, but felt like an abandoned house, much like this basement. Really doing blow with this what once was probably really attractive young black lady, years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward, not many teeth in the mouth, hair not real, some falling out, some held on by glue. Tight body now sags, just
God, I hope she's not listening.
yeah.
But no, there are a lot of unfortunate souls like that in Atlantic City.
And it's even more depressing in Atlantic because it's Atlantic City, which is just like the land of the lost.
Yeah.
You could see they're really trying. They build these like Trump towers, and it's just like does nothing.
It is the least glamorous place that's supposed to flaunt glamour.
It's so depressing.
It's disgusting there. It's a collection of old senior citizens who are gambling away their paychecks, gamblers who've already spent all the money they have. They're walking around angry. broken
Degenerate
prostitutes,
drug addicts,
yes,
broken prostitutes,
and people who think they're going to have a get rich quick scheme.
they're gonna strike it rich. So I'm there. I was just there. I just did an event there about 3 months ago, sober, and it is just as depressing sober as it is when you're getting high there. I swear to God.
Wow.
So anyways, their son comes up. We run out of blow. And she's like, I got a little bit of dope back at my house. And now, see, I always need landing gear, right? Like, I love going uptown, sniffing lots of blow, shooting lots of coke. But when I'm ready to go to bed, I need some Xanax or some dope. So I need to come down. She's like, well, it's my gate shot for the morning. I'm not trying to come off it. And I said, wait. And the good addict that I am, I'm always 5 steps ahead, that mental chess game that we're playing. I remember her earlier in the beginning of the night when I gave her my money to go buy blow, I thought she was going to rip me off. So I really impressed upon how I was on Jackass and I was a pro skater. And because she told me she had a kid who skateboarded. So that was like me tugging on her heartstrings. And she's like, you have to meet my son. I'd love to meet your son. This is great.
Trying to parlay it into her gate shot.
Yeah. So, no, that's when, right before she goes to get me the blow. She has my money, but she hasn't left to get the coke.
Oh, I see.
So I'm really building up me meeting the son as like an insurance policy for her to come back.
Oh, so this is a night-long process.
Yeah, so she comes back. We're in a basement very similar to this. We're doing all the blow. The blow runs empty. Anything that was fun or cool is no longer fun and cool. Reality sets in for what it really is.
Yeah.
And we all want to kill ourselves.
Right.
And I have no heroin. And I remember her son being a skater. She has a gate shot. I have to get it. So I come up with this idea. I'm like, if you take me back, let's go meet your son. If you don't want to give me the gate shot, I totally understand, but just split it with me. Just simply split it with me. And I made up a lie that there might not even have been a lie, that I had a necklace on that was BAM's and that I would give it to the son.
If you had a necklace on, it was definitely BAM's.
Yeah, that's what I said. So I gave this necklace of BAM's to this little kid, woke him up at like 7 a.m. Yeah.
What did you say to the kid?
I'm sure I built it up to what it was. And he's just waking up, wiping the sleep from his eyes. And I'm like, I've been on blow all night.
Yeah.
So I'm like running around like a chicken with his head cut off. I pull a skateboard off from next to the bed and I'm doing kick flips. So he wakes too, seeing this deranged cocaine addict doing kick flips on the carpet of his bedroom floor.
In the projects.
In the projects at like 7 a.m. And a white guy at that. And the mom like, baby, you know who it is. You know who it is. It's that guy. It's that guy from those movies. And then he did maybe know who I was. If he didn't, I convinced him that he did. Because I had my eye on the prize. All I wanted was the gate shot.
Right.
Which, as luck would have it, or fate, or, the topic of our show.
Fate versus free will.
Call it what you will, but I ended up with the gate shot.
What did you have a clean needle?
I had a needle.
Oh, you had a needle with you?
Yeah.
Wow.
I always brought one. You never knew when you might hit the lotto.
Mm-hmm. Oh, looks like we have a caller already.
CJ, you going to drop this?
CJ, are we going to drop the call? That's the big question.
Here it is.
Oh, you got to wear your headphones.
Yeah, the caller should be on.
Hello, caller.
Yeah, I'm here.
Holy shit. Give it up for CJ
Yeah,
for not
CJ.
dropping the first call. You've arrived, business affairs.
So what's going on, caller? What's on your mind today?
Oh, well, no, I saw what's the topic? Fate or free will?
Yeah, that's right. So, since the dawn of man, we've been plagued with certain philosophical questions. And the first and foremost is there a destiny? Has God foreseen everything we'll ever do, or are we actually free to make our own decisions, which ends up with our success, failures, and ultimate fate?
Well,
Hello?
yeah, but the way I look at it is like fate and free will is fate. If I go to the bar and I see a hot girl, like my fate is I'm going to bang her, but her free will is like I ain't touching that fucking guy.
Okay, so you're looking at two
That's an interesting
different components.
Yeah.
But we're not looking at her deal. To each individual.
You're just looking at your own deal.
What do you believe in?
Well, that's actually a good question. I didn't look at it that way. I was looking at it the other way.
Yeah, no, I like what you brought to the table because that's also true too.
So you think, okay, so caller, let me get this straight. So in your mind, you're so self-assured of your goal of making it with this girl that your fate's already written.
So there is no free will there.
It's already written in the stars. So would you say that for you there is no free will because you've already pre-planned out your destiny of making love to this beautiful woman or ugly?
Well, in my head, yes, but in the free will of the other person, it's a no.
Okay, so let's say the inverse is true. Let's say there was a hot homosexual man who wanted to make love to you, and in his mind, it was preordained that he would do so. What's your feeling about that?
I mean, it depends on how many Jack and Cokes I had.
I like this guy.
Valid point.
Well, no, I mean, I was in Los Angeles like in April when I made out with a transvestite, and I didn't really know, but like after I found out, I wasn't that mad about it.
Yeah, I've seen me do it. I got blown by a tranny on purpose because I figured they'd give really good blowjobs. The tranny showed up to the hotel room, not a pretty transsexual. Looked like a Hawaiian meth head with fake tits.
What, was it a good blowjob though?
That's what I thought would happen, but no. Sadly to report, it was not.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like dudes think other dudes give blowjobs because they get them, but I'm like, if I gave a blowjob right now, it probably wouldn't be that good.
Yeah, but I agree with you. Mine wouldn't be good, but for a transsexual who, that's kind of their modus operandi, I believe, with fake tits, is to suck dick.
Yeah, I think
I know the transvestite I hooked up with a hot shot. But wait, so what was your fate? And you're all talking about yourself though, like your fate and then your free will.
any person's fate or free. So
Yeah.
the basic philosophical question is: are all the events in the universe pre-written? Like, if you believe in a God, does he have a book in which everything you will ever do is inscribed? Or are you completely...
Actually, man, wow, your show, I listen to all your podcasts. This one's getting real fucking educational on this one, it seems.
Well, we're digging
around
deep on this one. Unlike last week when we did the Mel Gibson tapes.
That's hard to say. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, because I would think that I have free will in my life that, like, even if somebody writes something for me, like, okay, was it written for me that, like, I get, like, cheated on by a girlfriend and, like this and that? Like, that's supposed to what happened?
What? Go ahead.
I'm a firm believer in free will, right? Like, I believe, I hate, two of my biggest pet peeves are the words luck and coincidence. I fucking hate those. I believe everything is destiny and fate.
Even through the bad and the good, like, you're getting to a destination that's going to be good no matter what.
Yeah, depending upon one's perception, because they could just look at it as, fuck, it's poor me, and it's never good. You know, everything comes back to perception. But free will, I have choices I can make, right? So I can make a positive choice and probably end up with positive results. Or I can make a negative choice and end up with negative results. So either way, I have free will to make the first decision. Now, what follows upon that first decision I make is, I believe, destiny and fate.
Okay. Yeah. No. Well. Yeah. Fuck you. Actually, I agree with that. 'Cause, I mean, I've made bad decisions that ended up being for the better for me in the long run. Like, I mean, talking like years later or something, but like at the time it was like the worst decision I ever made, but in the end it actually helped me out more.
Now, what was the worst decision you ever made?
My second DUI.
Now,
How'd that help you out?
It fucked my whole world up. So like after that though, I'm like, I wouldn't be where I'm at though without that second DUI though, because I would have kept doing the same shit. And maybe I would have died instead of just getting pulled over and getting arrested.
I like your perception on things.
so it's possible without...
If I didn't get in trouble for the second one, I could have still been drinking and driving, and then instead of just getting pulled over because my taillight was out, I get fucking pulled out of a car because I just killed a family of fucking 5 kids or something,
Yeah.
and then, you know, like, it's hard to say because it's like, it's like that's what I say is my best thing. Honestly, my best thing I think I did was getting my cats, because those cats give me so much girls that come over here because they like cats, and
I was not expecting that.
I know. You're the first person in the history of mankind to incorporate a kitty cat story with fate versus free will.
I'm a fan, though.
Yeah, no, I like this guy.
Yeah.
So wait, so
Oh, well, no,
did you?
actually,
Yep.
Ron, well, Novak, you know me, well, not personally, though, but, like, I was the one that sent you back your fucking jackass jacket.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, I'll get into that in a second. Not really much to get into. Well, hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, thanks for calling in. We really
Nice to
appreciate
meet you.
it.
It's nice to talk to you on the phone.
And thanks for your honesty. Your story about getting fellatio from a transvestite was amazing.
I don't.
Oh,
That's CJ's fault.
yeah.
That was not us that hung up. Way to go, CJ. He did drop the fucking call. I knew he was going to drop it one way or another.
Taylor,
I thought it was
what's,
done and I pulled the cord.
what's your opinion of fate versus free will?
Well, I mean, everybody makes their own decisions based off of a situation that they're in. And I mean, the situation that you're in is the fate part, right? Because the situation that you're in may be because of other people. Your free will only incorporates yourself. So in a sense, you're always in the fate zone. When you walk out of your house, when you get out of bed, fate is everything, because every action has a opposite reaction. That's just how life works.
I agree.
So-
I think your free will dictates your fate. Absolutely.
So you're a big Tony Robbins fan and that kind of a thing. You like the power of positive thinking, and you know.
You got to speak it into existence. You got to walk the walk. You got to do it. That's your free will. You decide if you do that.
So do you believe in a God?
Not necessarily. I believe in something. I believe in a there's
God
definitely
meaning
a
a
force that
power
drives
greater than
everything.
yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
So
1000%.
you believe in an ultimate driving force, which is the centrifuge of the entire universe.
Yep,
I do too.
for sure.
Do you believe that power has a conscience?
No.
Okay. Oh, it looks like we have another caller.
You're going to fucking
CJ,
hang up
if
on
you
him
please.
too, CJ?
No,
Business affairs.
It's plugged in. Call's
Now
ready.
I'm jealous of his title. Have you noticed the way I say it?
Go ahead, caller. Hello. What?
Hello?
Caller.
Hello.
Hey,
What's happening?
what's on your mind, man?
I don't know. I found this number on Wawa bathroom wall.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for calling in. This is going to
No. Is this the transvestite that blew the previous caller?
What's that?
Are you?
That's how this conversation is
Yeah.
going to go. You're going to keep entertaining this bullshit, Franz.
What's your
CJ,
point?
my business affair, hang up.
Should we caller? You have 5 seconds to get to the point. Go ahead.
What?
Oh no, I was just calling to say hi. I met you one time and I gave you a dirt nap.
Okay.
Novak's not registering who it is.
Oh, is this
Oh, Travis. What's happening,
Travis?
Travis,
I think you jerked me off one time.
I definitely would have jerked you off. You were good You were good looking. I don't know if you still are. It's been some years. I'm sure you are.
Well, I just called to say congratulations on all the good news I keep seeing about you. Joe keeps posting and other people.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate
Yeah,
know
ladies
that.
and gentlemen, we have the legendary Travis Knight on the phone.
World-renowned porn star.
That's right. So how many radio shows in the first two calls they have a guy who was blown by a transvestite and an international porn star?
Followed up by a serious hot stud of a fucking porn star.
So
Who gave me my intro to the porn world? It was a brief-lived moment.
so Travis, what is it? Is it fate or free will? What ultimately drives your life?
What's that? Hard to hear you guys.
It's not that late, Travis. What do you believe that you're responsible for all the wonderful things and all the bad things that happen to you in life, or do you think that God dictates the terms?
No, I think I'm responsible.
What's the worst decision you ever made?
Putting Novak in a porno.
I agree.
That was a great answer.
And he extorted money from you?
Well, real quick,
Yeah.
before we get into that, coming back to perception, you call it failure. I call it complete fucking success to the next level. I still tell this story to the day. Not many people, well, maybe more in your world, Travis, but in my world or just the regular world that doesn't know about porn, when I brag about having a stunt cock come from me, not many people know someone that's had a stunt cock for them in a porno.
I wouldn't imagine that many people need them.
Well,
the funny part was with all the reviews that came out about the movie, they were like, it was almost a little too obvious when the one dude's in the beginning, and then at the end he has a sleeve of tattoos.
You were my stunt cock, weren't you, Travis?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. I live vicariously through your porn star cock. I've arrived.
Who edited that? That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. There was a skating montage and no one landed a thing. The guy just took a clips of guys bailing on tricks. He's like, I guess this is good skating.
It was like Carrie Getz doing a front side board slide, giving the camera the finger.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, and Bam like doing God knows what.
And then so the story was that the skater hurt himself, and then
I'm
comes
the skater. I'm the porn star. Me,
right,
Brandon Novak.
And then the ambulance comes, which is a golf cart in fast motion with ambulance noises.
And 3 hot nurses.
I don't think they were dressed as nurses, were they?
Yeah, right, Travis? Like short, slutty nurses.
I don't even remember. I just remember.
I didn't see that coming.
The funniest parts were off camera because I remember the one girl. I don't. It might have been Gina. I don't remember, but she got on that 4-wheeler and put it in reverse and almost went down over the hill accidentally.
Didn't Novak extort money from you? Describe that story.
Yeah, that's why he got a dirt nap.
Yeah.
Well, Novak, maybe you better tell the story.
I vaguely remember it. I just remember. I
remember it better than the both of you. You didn't.
I was on heroin, for Christ's sakes.
You were on heroin, Travis. I don't know what you were doing. You actually were in great shape. I don't know, but I don't. So you didn't pay Novak right away. There was he had to sign the release form or something. So
my
now,
ID. I had to show my ID.
Yeah. So now Novak has something on you, and when a junkie has something on you, his price goes up.
No.
Oh, you remember all of a sudden. Now he remembers. Go ahead.
No, I'll tell you. I paid him, but I released a movie, but they told me I had X amount of days to get his signed release form, or they were going to have to pull it off the shelves.
Oh boy! Now I'm in control of the fucking the release of the porn.
I kept trying to get a hold of him. Kept trying to get a hold of him. Finally, I got a hold of him. And he told me he wanted an extra $1,000. So I had no choice but to pay it. I had no choice but to pay it because I couldn't afford to have my video pulled off the shelf. So when I came to pay him, you guys were doing the
radio show, yeah,
radio station, and I gave him a dirt. I knocked him out on the
I remember that.
video.
Yeah. That was good times. Good times had by all.
Yeah, that was good. Real good time.
Man. Well, all right. Well, thank you so much for your call, Travis. God bless you and Godspeed. Glad you're doing well, brother.
Hit me up. You got my number. Hit me up off of this. And like I said, congratulations on
Thank you,
everything
brother.
you're doing.
I appreciate it, man. Again, thanks for calling. Let's get together soon.
Yeah, do another porn. So, CJ, what about you? Do you believe in God? I don't think you're a...
So let's... wait, because the word God can be very discouraging, right? Like, so when people hear the word God, they think, a guy in the sky with a beard, and that word can be very discouraging, I think. So when we say God, or at least I think when you say God, it's not like just that guy. Like, it could be the universe. It could be the sun, the stars, the ocean, right?
When he asked me that question, the universe was the first thing I thought of.
Oh, you didn't think of the guy in the sky with the beard?
Like you just said, I just thought of the universe. As soon as he asked me if there's like a force controlling everything, to me, it's like a spiritual, almost cosmic thing.
But I know when most people hear the word God, they go right to that.
An old man in the beard.
And if they don't believe that, then your whole concept goes out the window.
Okay, so here's where I'm going with it. Does this driving force of the universe have a consciousness? Does it transmit some kind of thoughts? It could be in forms of energy. Is it is it aware of its own existence?
That's deep.
That is deep.
Well, it has to do with fate and free will.
That's deep. I don't know. I mean, a conscious? No, because just look at all the natural disasters massive casualties, epidemics.
No, not a conscience, a consciousness.
Oh.
So
I'm sorry.
rather than it will try and ultimately do right and wrong, is it aware of the things that are going on around it, and is it aware of its own existence? Does it know it exists? That's a consciousness.
I've never thought about it.
Well, the reason I'm asking is, it's my theory that if you believe in a God, not necessarily an old man with a beard, but some kind of consciousness which is aware of its own existence. So if you believe, well, okay, let's go on the far right end of the scale. So let's go on the far end of the scale where someone who's ultimately religious, right? So someone who believes in the old man with the magic wand with a beard on a cloud who created the universe by waving his hand. So if there is indeed a God, and he does know every event that has ever happened, and he knows of every event that will ultimately happen, therefore you cannot make a decision that he's not aware of.
Or unrecognized.
Yes. So therefore, you have no free will, according to the ultimate religious person.
Well, like I said, I believe free will dictates your fate, right? Because we have the ability to make a right as opposed to a left, to run the red light as opposed to stop. And if I run the red light as opposed to stop, I'm subject to a head-on collision. If I stop, then I won't have, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that free will would dictate what my fate would be.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. The ancient Greeks were the first people to really think about this and write about it.
They're fucking genius. I'm going there next 2 weeks.
Oh, are you?
In 2 weeks. Me and Greek are going to Greece.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I was going. I've never been there.
Me
All
neither.
the places I've been.
I'm really
Novak,
excited.
are you playing matchmaker for him?
No, he's doing that himself.
He's trying to get a wife.
He's going there. That's his intentions. It's the whole reason behind this trip.
Wow.
It's his fate, if you will.
Yeah. But anyway, so they
Free will into fate.
They envisioned it not unlike you do. So in that you have free will, they believed, but they believed you are powerless to make any decisions that the gods didn't know about. So they actually believed you had an ultimate fate you could never escape, but your free will ultimately led you there. Oh, looks like we have a caller.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. It makes the most sense.
Absolutely.
It looks like, okay, go ahead, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
This is Sean from Canada. Hi.
What's happening, Sean from Canada?
Not much.
Oh, is this Sean?
Chilling here, getting
Sean
ready to leave
Keller?
out.
Sean Keller?
This is Sean. Yeah.
Hey, buddy. We just signed something for
What's
you.
up, brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Sean.
just signed. We literally signed something for you 20 minutes ago to send you in the mail. How you doing, brother?
Your guy's volume is mad low.
Oh, is it? I don't know if there's anything we can do about that.
Even on the podcast, people can't hear it.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been getting texts from Chad Ginsburg.
Oh, what'd he say?
Let me see my phone. I'll read it verbatim.
Chad's listening?
Chad, don't get mad. He was listening, but he's having a hard problem listening. He says,
Well, he's an audio engineer.
your audio is so bad on your podcast. Tell Franz to plug the shit in. Do I need to fly in from Texas to fix it? Tell CJ, remember, you're no engineer if they can't hear. That's Chad's.
That's awesome.
Words of wisdom.
That is Chad's idea of constructive criticism.
Well, it gets the point. Might get the job done.
Yeah. No, I'm not. He's
Stop sucking his dick, Franz.
Oh my God! I can.
Now,
Okay. So anyway, Sean, what is it? Nature or nurture? What do you believe in, buddy?
Well, I just wanted to call and actually tell you guys a quick little story here to let you guys see what you think. Basically, I talked to you, Franz, about the accident I had years ago. I used to leave high school. I'd hop on a city bus and go right home. The one day I decided to take it downtown and transfer is the day I got hit by the car and broke my spine.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. So what did you take away from that? What did you learn? I mean, and breaking your spine. Oh my God. I mean, you can't hold yourself responsible for that. Or can you?
No, I mean, like it, that's what I mean. Was it meant to be that way or was it just by chance?
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't believe in luck or coincidence. In your case, not luck.
Mm-hmm.
No, none at all.
They do say that God does everything for a reason. So are you religious at all, Sean?
Well, I mean, I'm still here today. I've got to do some awesome things in life afterwards, including doing some music. I've got an awesome family. So I'm not doing too bad out of the deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about perception.
Yeah.
Got involved in your guys' awesome project, which was fun.
Yeah, that was all. Yeah, so he's a donator to the Brandon Novak Chronicles graphic novel project, and he's a big supporter, and we appreciate it. But let me ask you this, Sean: what would have happened if you would have went the other way on that fateful day? I mean, maybe there was a worse fate for you in that direction.
That's what I think, right? Maybe hadn't I gotten, as crazy as it sounds, hadn't I gotten hit by the car that day, maybe I wouldn't have done all the cool stuff I ended up doing.
Or maybe something worse would have happened. Maybe you would have met someone that day who would have been a very negative influence in your life. So
very much so, yeah. That's very true.
Wow.
That's very true.
Okay, so
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Sean, it's time for our break, and we appreciate it so much. Thank you for your friendship, your love, and support, brother. We really appreciate it, man. It means
right back at you guys. You guys are absolutely awesome.
I'm praying for you, my brother.
Thanks, brother. I'll talk to y'all soon.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So on the Might Be News Network, we're going to go on a break.
Hey, it's Taylor Cooper, co-host Kev.
And I'm co-host Dan. I have to bring something up that's been bugging the shit out of me about your wedding.
What?
You've known me a long time.
Yeah.
All right?
You've known both of us a long time.
You've known Kev a long time.
Fucking radio show together.
Yeah.
We are your brothers.
Correct.
Why the fuck was I in the corner?
Yo, both of us.
We were the furthest away from the bar. We were the furthest away from the food. It was like, I'm just going to put you guys in the corner because I don't want to see you.
Check out Might Be News on mbnnetwork.com. Also, SoundCloud and iTunes. New episodes every Monday.
Okay, so we're back here with the Novak and Frantz podcast discussing the philosophical issue of fate versus free will.
And all credit to us being back here right now goes to the one and only Chad I. Ginsburg of the CKY, because he just fixed our audio problem via Texas. We were in a fucking mildew basement in PA somewhere.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Chad Ginsburg of the band CKY.
Don't talk about my band publicly, Franz. We talked about this before.
Sorry, Chad.
They're on tour, man. Go check them out.
Yeah.
They're fucking killing it. They are in Texas tonight.
So there was a life-changing... No, here's where the topic gets really interesting to me, because actually someone changed my life with this. It was actually Adam Wallachiewicz's wife, ex, actually. One time, she was starting up a business, and she described to me, I said, wow, I said, it's so great that you're starting up this business. You must be really driven. Was it hard to make these choices to put your entire personal life aside and invest all of your time and energy and money into this business? She said, I didn't have a choice. I was like, what do you mean you didn't have a choice? How could you not have a choice in starting up a business? She says, I didn't have a choice. She said, this is what I needed to do. She said, I would have been entirely unfulfilled if I didn't do this. And so I needed to do this. I had to do this. I didn't have a choice. And I said, wow, it's such an interesting way to look at it. Surely, even if we make bad choices, we're doing the best thing that we feel we're capable of at the time with the information that we have in front of us.
I agree with that.
So
absolutely.
I was thinking about you, Novak, and how that might apply to your life. You've made a lot of bad decisions as an addict on the streets of Baltimore and such. When you were making these horrible decisions to wake up and go find a gate shot and, go beg for change on the street to be able to scrape up $10 and to shoot up in abandoned houses and alleys and all this stuff, you were making bad decisions, but were you aware of how bad those decisions were, or did you think it was the right thing to do?
No, I was making decisions solely out of survival mode and survival. You know what I mean? And it wasn't personal; it was just business. and I had my eye on the prize, right? But what I will say, going back to fate and free will, making sensible or not sensible decisions, like you just said about that woman, I didn't have the privilege to have a say so in the matter, right? Because I'm a strung out drug addict. It calls, I answer by any and all means necessary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not personal business. If you're between me and it, you must and will go.
Mm-hmm.
And I did what I had to do, right? So I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual. And I get a lot of flack from this, but I believe my higher power, which I personally choose to call God, is heroin, is cocaine, is wine, is pills, is weed. I believe it's everything. I believe God is everything, because if I didn't go through what I went through, I would not be half of the man that I am today. And what happens is that my defects, the very same thing that was killing me on a daily basis, heroin, drugs, alcohol, have now become my biggest assets, right? The very same thing that was destroying everything now gives me life on a daily basis. And not only does it give me life on a daily basis, it's allowed me to find this platform through my spirituality, my higher power that has provided for me to have this voice to speak out to masses. And now kids say, Novak, if you can get clean, there's no reason why I can't. Can you help me?
So what you're saying is you, or maybe everyone, has an undying drive. Humanity has this undying drive to turn their weaknesses into strengths. And in your case, if you didn't go through these moments of weakness in your life that made you succumb to addiction and all these horrible experiences, you wouldn't be saving the lives you're saving today.
No, absolutely. You know, it's that whole fucking Hallmark saying, knowledge is taught, but wisdom is experienced. You know, and if I did not go through the depths that I went to, if I hadn't been broken down, I could not have been built back up.
Wow. Now we're getting somewhere. This is great. All right, we got another caller. Let's do it. Go ahead, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, it's Hopton.
Not too much. We're doing a podcast called the Novak Frantz Show. What's on your mind? Do you have an opinion on fate versus free will, or do you have an addiction problem, or something else you want to talk about?
Oh, mate. Well, it's Hopton. First of all, it's Nick Hopton.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
so we do have an addiction problem.
We have an addiction problem, a fucking drinking problem, a complaining problem.
Take your pick, man. We got every kind of problem you can think on this one.
What do we got? What are you weighing in on today? You're a deep thinker.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. So I saw the topic that you guys are going on today. What is it between free will and fate, right?
Right.
You're smart.
So
you go to college.
Hey, come on, college boy.
I went to college. Let's see. I went to college. Doesn't mean I finished college. I went to college. I gave it the old Hopton try. Doesn't mean that made you anywhere in life. But, you know, it got me to a couple points. But, it's funny. I used to be a firm believer in free will, that, you know, we all had our own paths that you could forge any day. And whatever those actions that you chose that given day, were chosen by you. There was no higher power. There was no, you know, something looking out for you or something making decisions. But over the past couple of years, specifically the past couple of months, it's been weird. There's been a switch in my mind, because things have just lined up in such a beautiful place that came out of total shit that have really made me believe in fate. If I never partied as hard as I did with Novak all these years ago, and with you guys and everything like that, and you know, made some really bad decisions, my mom might not be here. Because to those I know, you know, Franz might not know, but I know.
Yeah, he does.
Of course, Novak knows. Of course, CJ knows. But Novak is really instrumental in saving my mother's life. Between that, I got diagnosed with MS a month and a half ago. And since then, it's totally flipped my switch on life, and I've gotten healthier. I stopped drinking as much. I ain't saying I'm a goddamn saint or anything like that, but
yeah, don't go acting like you walk on water all of a sudden, Hopton. I'm just kidding.
Exactly. I have a newfound appreciation for life and how fragile it is.
I like that.
I take that.
It goes to what I always say. If you change your perception, you can change your world. You know?
Exactly.
And it sounds like
it really did. It was a.
What were you saying? Go ahead.
No, go on.
It sounds like you.
No, go ahead.
It sounds like you suffering these, what one might call traumatic experiences. You've been able to like really ground yourself in, okay, right now my biggest problem is perception. Can I look at the world as like, fuck you, how dare you diagnose me with MS? Fuck you, how dare you make my mother become, an alcoholic, whatever. Or like, no, maybe like, no, I'm just looking at this the wrong way. And now you have this whole new outlook, this whole new profound outlook on life, maybe.
Well, that's pretty much what it is. My mom has made incredible changes, and they came right at the perfect time because, of everything else that followed, we really needed her in order to, be by our sides during not just my time, but, my whole family's.
And, to really quick interject,
like
I remember when you called me about your mother and you're like, I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm gonna have to go over there and get the kids. I got a job. I got to watch all these kids. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And now, from what you just said, and this brings me back to Frantz, the spirituality, a power greater than ourselves. If you can recognize the synchronicity in life's events that bring us to the here and now, you can't deny a power greater than ourselves. Because now, Hopton, it's like your mother who was discounted as like an alcoholic who couldn't stop drinking, about to lose her job, couldn't watch the kids, passed out all day. You going over playing the father figure, playing the mother figure. Now she defies odds and logic. She goes, she gets sober, she stays sober, she becomes a mother, she becomes a home.
She's back to being a mom again.
Yeah, she's employable. She's a mom. And now you find yourself in a state of turmoil, distress, if you will, dis-ease, discomfort, all that. And then now she comes back to do for you what you were doing for her X amount of months ago when you had discounted her and said, I remember you talking to me you're like, this is fucking pointless. There's no helping her. She's did this before, And now look.
And a year later, she's still sober.
And now she steps in to help.
Over a year and she's sober.
Over a year, and she steps in during a very traumatic experience or time in your life, if you will. And now
exactly. I sat there and I said, one of the first things I said when I got diagnosed, I'm sitting there in that hospital and I'm like, thank fuck mom is sober right now. Like if she was not sober and I had to deal with all that and then this on top of me, I probably would have just been like, you guys just, put me under and just like, not let me wake up. Like this might be a little bit too much. Like I've done a lot, but this might be a little bit too much right now. But the fact that she was able to do that, it's pure fate, man.
Yeah.
Because you came into my life.
Yeah.
To help my mother, but at a time when you and I were doing fucking drugs
we were
together.
going
not
for
that I
it.
was doing heroin, but we were going for it, man. Like we were having the time
with no end in sight.
And with no end in sight. And then it just by some grace of some higher power, like you were saying, not saying it's God, not saying it's anything. I mean, I'm not really religious, but I'm spiritual as hell, man. And something's looking out for us. And as bad as it might sound that I have MS, it might be the best thing that ever happened to me because I was sitting at home doing nothing. I was just wasting away and dying. And now that I know, I've flipped my entire script. I started writing music again. We got music coming out soon. We got I've been dieting, exercising. Like I'm getting my life together because of this.
And defects becoming
assets. Fate, man. Exactly. It's like I needed something like this to happen in my life in order to get me on the right track. So I'm like I said, I used to be a firm believer in free will. After the past year and a half, nah, man, I'm fate all the way.
Knowledge is taught, wisdom is experienced, right? You're taught like, I don't know about fate, free will, and then all of a sudden you have this experience of this knowledge, and now you know what I mean?
Yeah, Nick. Nick Frantz here. Look, this is the first I'm hearing about this, and I'm broken up here, man. I'm terribly, terribly sorry, and it makes me think, how fragile life is, and how quickly things can change in the blink of an eye. What?
Dude, it's insanity. I don't mean to cut you off, but you're mentioning, the fragile aspect of life.
Yeah.
one of my good friends that I grew up with, middle school, high school, graduated together. 2 weeks ago, I mean, even longer before that, but we were getting ready to get him into my band because we needed a bass player, and he was gung ho about it. He's like, hell yeah. 2 weeks ago on a Thursday, I sent him the new music that we got. The day after that, he had an incident with cardiac arrest. He went on life support, and last Tuesday he passed away. Out of nowhere, man. And it reaffirmed. I had to go to his viewings last night. And to see him there after just talking to him and talking about future plans for the rest of our lives, and being so excited, and it just gets taken away from you. It gets taken away from you that fast. I saw him earlier that day, and then later that evening, I got a call that something bad happened, and it's like it's so goddamn fragile. And it once again reaffirmed my belief that you gotta use this time that you have in the best way possible.
It goes back to that age-old saying, yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery, all we have today, and that's why it's called the present, right?
Amen to that. Amen to that.
If you ever notice, I don't ever get scared or full of fear about yesterday, last month, or last year, because it's already happened. Right. But what I can find myself getting all feared up about is the future. Right now, I'm not a psychic. I cannot predict the future. Anything that I'm thinking about that's going to happen 2 hours from now, next week, next month is fear. And what fear equals is false evidence appearing real. So it's not even happened. It's made up in this delusional mind of mine that makes me, on my best day, say, hey, I think a great idea would be to shoot $300 worth of heroin into my arm. Right? That very same mind creates like the reality from which I live in. So now all we have is the here and the now. And I know you hear it so much, but all we can control is the here and the now, our thinking, our attitude, and our behavior. That's all I have to control. I can't control you because what that is me putting expectations on you. And all expectations are nothing but unfulfilled resentments. So the moment you don't do what I think you should do, say what I think you should say, or feel what I think you should feel, I'm fucking furious,
Exactly. And I'm sorry, man, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. That was my point. That was my point. I just, I wanted a moment of introspection from you. If there is maybe something you can share with our listeners as how to deal with such a tragedy, like what are some of the things that were instrumental in you having this new insight into your life?
What, since the diagnosis, or since my buddy passed? I mean, it's kind of, dude, it's been a month and a half of just like, holy shit.
It all happened at once. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I was just starting to, breathe a little bit after that MS thing, and then this happened, and I was like, God damn, man, what else are you gonna throw at me? And then I'm knocking on wood. I'm like, don't throw a fucking other thing at me right now. Like, just let me be for a little bit, man. Like, let me just have some smooth sails.
And it's like I say, this whole thing is centered in perception, right? So what I call the series of events that you've experienced in the last month and a half is divinely inconvenienced or convenienced, if you will, depending upon your perception.
Exactly. Perception is the key to everything, and personal growth, and what you feel like you have to do after something like that is the key to all of it, because you have about a minute window after you're told or after something happens traumatically where you're still, if given that you're still in control, to really make a decision that's going to impact the rest of your life. Like, I'm sitting there and, the doctor's like, well, everything looks good. Everything looks fine. And I'm like, all right, sick. And he's like, well, hold on, let's check out your MRI. And he's like, well, here's the thing. You have a couple of lesions on your spine. You have spots on your brain. So that's kind of indicative of MS. And I'm like, wait, what? Excuse me? You just said everything's cool. And he goes, well, and I kind of blacked out for a second. And he finished up the rest of it. I didn't really hear what the rest he had to say. I was, out of it at that point. But he walked out of the room, and I was sitting by myself there because my mom was on the way down to the hospital, and I hadn't told her yet. And I'm sitting there. I pop some headphones in. I forget what I have even had on. And I'm looking out the window, and I'm looking up in the air, and I'm like, all right, I can either do one of two things here. I can break down. I can say, fuck this. I can say, God, thanks for everything, man. You really screwed the pooch on me on this one. I've just tried to be a good person, yada, 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 all that stuff. I was like, or I can use this as a positive. I can use this as, I know I'm not invincible. this thing could eventually take me and, you know, make me all screwed up, but I can do what I want to do. Fear is gone because I knew something was up, but I had that weight lifted off my shoulders, and now I know what it is. And the fear is gone. And now I can take hold of what I want in my life, and I can really try to achieve it, you know? And it was one of the most eye-opening and cathartic things in the world for somebody to tell me I had MS, man, because it just made me feel like, fuck it. Go out and do what you want to do. Live the life that you want to live, and don't have any regrets, because at this point, what's the point? You know,
in that
just
story,
live.
In that story, what I heard of him saying is his free will dictated his fate.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because the tragedy brought a moment of liberation, it seems.
That's true. That is true. I mean, I guess, you know, right there, I did have the free will. I guess maybe
as
that
to
was
how you were going to look at it,
or the higher power, exactly, of how I was going to live the rest of my life. It was I was presented with two options of free will, because maybe free will isn't what we think it is. Maybe free will, you know, sometimes you have the perception of, oh, I can go fucking jump off this roof right now, or I can go rob a bank, or I can do all this stuff. Maybe that's not what it is. Maybe it's when you're confronted with two decisions, you have paths, and those two paths are the free will, and you can pick which one you want to go down, and fate's going to take you down either, or fate's going to present that free will to you, those paths. And
I agree with
at that moment, you have the free will to decide what you're going to do with the rest of your life, or what road you're going to take down for the rest of your life.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
That is absolutely fascinating. So fate presents
it's free will.
Yeah. Well, fate presents alternate universes you can experience, and your free will allows you the choice of these series of fates.
Yeah.
Wow. I can see it. Yeah. Shit.
Maybe if you're presented with an opportunity of A and B, what are you taking, A or B? And if I believe, like I said, everything is predestined or pre-written, depending upon what decision I make, I believe, I mean, it's just another way to look at it, but my fate could already be predestined by
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
because
you could look at it, well, I picked this side, but I was predestined to pick this side or something like that. But to me, I felt like I had the choice right there, you know?
Well, do you, man, I'm in a state of confusion right now.
What's new, Frantz?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, this is nothing new. I have no right to blame this on you. But do you have any, I don't know, maybe advice for other people who are experiencing what you've gone through? Is there anything you'd like to say
advice for people?
Yeah, to listeners, because it's interesting. Through Sean, who called prior to you, he got in a really bad accident. Like me and Novak signed a bunch of letters to people who are in a lot of pain, who are in the hospital and stuff like that. So maybe is there something you want to say to some of the listeners as to how they might get through when they meet a similar tragedy?
I mean, I wish there was something profound I could say, but it's really just, and as cliche as it sounds, just try to keep positive. You know, you're still breathing, you're still alive, you still have a chance to change your life, change other people's lives. Like I've talked to people over the past, month and a half in these MS support groups, and some people are really beaten down about this. And I say, you don't have to be beaten down about this. Like, you can really take hold of your life, because what else is there to fear? Like, I had a fear of flying, like a horrible fear of flying. I wouldn't even get on a plane until the moment that I got diagnosed. And I said, well, what the hell's the point now? Because this thing, I already know it's probably going to kill me a lot faster with better odds than the goddamn plane's going to kill me. So why fear what I don't need to fear? Like,
false evidence
I have
appearing
my
real.
enemy in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. I have my enemy in front of me. I can fight my enemy in front of me because I know what it is. I know what my problem is. It can be a problem, it can be an illness, it can be anything. I know what my enemy is, and I can fight it head on and live my life the way I want to live it, because now I know what the issue is.
See, this really gets me off, because he basically did what I do in my 12 steps and being a drug addict, alcoholic, but he did it with something completely different, multiple sclerosis. So now, like, when people hear his story that he just let us bear witness to, someone out there with MS, like, dude, if Hopton can be in that frame of mind, like I can be in that frame of mind, you know?
Yeah.
That's fucking rad, man.
That's all I want to do, man. I just want people to enjoy life, you know, because it's so we get so wound up with the everyday shit that we forget to just breathe and just be like, dude, we're alive. Like I'm talking to you guys. You guys are talking to me. You're talking to to people all around the world right now, and it's
the here and the now.
Cathartic. It's good. You know, it's love is what it is. And we forget that there is that.
I think this is
I like to remind people of that.
This is one of the rare occasions, Hopkins, that neither of us are under the influence of a lot of cocaine or alcohol. That I 100% agree with everything that you've said.
I agree with everything. Let's write this down because this does not happen. Maybe this has never happened.
I don't think
unless we are drinking a shit ton of wine or, like you said, doing a bunch of coke or something like that. It doesn't. These times don't come around often. So write that one down in the record book.
This is a historical moment right here.
So let's end this call while we're still in the honeymoon stage.
Yeah, we are. We are running to the bookend of time here. The show's about to end. But Nick, thank you so much for your honesty.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys taking the call.
You know, you're. I don't think you can measure how many people you helped by calling in and giving us your honesty and your truthfulness. And thank you so much, Nick.
Love you, brother.
That's all I wanted to do, man. I just want to help people out. So if I helped one person out today, and I accomplished my mission of this call. But thank you guys for taking the time to take the call. And it was good talking. We'll have to meet up and get some tea now because I can't say we'll grab a fucking box of wine anymore.
Yeah, times have changed. All right, Hopkins. See you, buddy.
God bless you, brother. All right, love you.
Real quick, Franz, before you do your whole spiel, you can look up my shit, BrandonNovak.com. If anyone's struggling and can't find themselves on the other end of that bag, bottle, needle, or pill, you can personally call me, 610-635-9092. And last but not least, check out the CKY guys. They're on tour. Here's some of their shows: 1026 Racine, Wisconsin; 1027 Agnolia, Indiana; 1028 Flint, Michigan; 1029 Chicago, Illinois; 1031 Kansas City, Missouri; 1102 Anaheim, California; 1103 Vegas; 1104 San Diego; 1106 Los Angeles; 117 Orange County. And the list goes on. Chad, sorry, I'm like 1 minute left. Franz, take it away.
Yeah. So also for autographed copies of our graphic novel, The Brandon Novak Chronicles, featuring a 40-page CKY story, and for autographed copies of Dream Seller, CJ, where do they go?
BrandonNovak.com, the shop tab.
Okay, the shop tab of Brandon Novak. Well, thank you.
Very presidential, Craig.
And as usual, I'm going to end it with a very, very short joke, which Novak hates. So the first guy says to the second guy, he says, "Congratulations, I hear your wife is pregnant." And the second guy says, "Yeah, and if I catch the guy who did it." Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. See you next time.